This is Top Story with Evans Mensah.
And Top Story is always brought to you by Vodafone. And tensions have been rising in Parliament today as the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Madam Jean Mensah, finally appeared before the House with a spirited defense of a controversial law that will make the Ghana card the sole identity document for registering voters. I am going to be taking you live to Parliament in a few minutes, but let me give you first a taste of what happened when she attempted to defend the decision to pass that particular constitutional instrument that will make the Ghana card the sole identity document.
Honorable members, fortunately, you are known faces, so I've taken note of all of you. Honorable Dominic Nitiwol, you are a minister, please.
Mr. Speaker, I am protesting. You cannot invite somebody to your house. You can invite somebody to your house and insult the person. It's wrong. Mr. Speaker, why? It's getting too much.
Honorable Mutala Mohammed, it has long been ruled in this House that the use of the word shame is unparliamentary. Again, Honorable Mutala Mohammed, I call on you to withdraw the shame.
This is not a house of emotions. This is a house of records. It is not a house of shouting. And we are all here, and that is why I want the Speaker's direction into the mic. It doesn't become a statement that is made on record. Yes. So I want your direction. Yes. But if it is that I'm withdrawing something that is not captured as a recorded statement I have made, then I do so because you are the Speaker and you have directed me to do so. But you all know that any statement that is made not on the mic, it is not an official statement that is being made. So if you're asking me to withdraw a statement which was not made in the mic, I would want your direction. So Mr. Speaker, I am withdrawing that statement even though it was not captured as an official statement because you are the Speaker and you have directed me to do so. Out of respect, and not out of people like you.
Well, on her part, Madam Jean Mensah was clear the new CI will not disenfranchise voters because it will only affect newly qualified voters and not those who are already on the existing voter register.
We urge you to support the decision of the EC to rely on the Ghana card as the main source of identification for those who wish to register as voters. Our country has evolved, and it is important that our electoral processes also evolve to meet the exigencies of the times. Today, 30 years on, we cannot continue to rely on a system that is fraught with challenges. So, when we have a credible system in the form of identification card, this constitutional instrument and its provisions are not aimed at raising eligible Ghanaians. The continuous registration process, on the contrary, will be inclusive and participatory. It will make it possible to capture all those who would otherwise have been excluded in a limited registration exercise. The continuous registration exercise, Mr. Speaker, unlike the previous limited registration exercises, will be continuous, like its name states. As such, anyone who has a Ghana card can simply walk into any of our offices and get registered. The exercise is not periodic or a limited one that could lead to disenfranchising persons who do not possess the Ghana card. It is an all-year-round activity. As such, a person who does not have the Ghana card today can acquire it tomorrow and simply walk into a district office where he or she intends to vote and register.
And that's Madam Jean Mensah. Later, I will tell you what the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, has also been saying before Parliament today assuring that government will release all the funds that the NIA currently needs to print more cards. As you know, more than 3 million cards have been detained because the NIA has failed to pay the suppliers. Also, the NIA were themselves before Parliament today, and they've also been defending their work and what they believe they can do to complement the work of the Electoral Commission. But I want to take you right now to Parliament, where the majority chief whip, Mr. Nodompre, is on his feet on the back of the 3 presentations, one by the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, the second one by Professor Ken Atefa of the NIA, and the Finance Minister. The MPs are now debating what they've heard. I'll take it live to Parliament now.
Funding will be dealt with. Again, we've had concerns about guarantor system, and I'll be happy to be educated. What is the problem with the guarantor system, and how can that be cured? Finally, the use of the Ghana card as the main source of identification.
Honorable Member, your time is up. Your time is up.
Your time is up. We are just concluding.
There's nothing I can do about it.
Then I'm concluding.
Unless somebody
whether the NIA board can tell us, or the EC board can tell us.
Honorable Member, your time is up. Now, I'll allow the EC and the NIA to respond to the issues you have raised. We will start with the EC.
Taking my paper. Yes, thank you very much. I think Honorable Ablakwa raised the issue of, the EC's intention to have started the continuous registration in July. And he notes that, that was 8 months ago. And in his view, if the CI had been passed, the Commission would not have been able to achieve or attain the continuous registration because of the challenges that the NIA is facing. And I believe that is true. But it's important that we recognize that it is a continuous registration exercise. Had we had a system where it was a limited registration exercise, let's say that in July of 2022, we decided to conduct a limited registration exercise for a period of 4 weeks, then we would have that challenge. Because at the end of 4 weeks, if persons didn't have the register, they would not be able to. If they didn't have the NIA card, we would not be able to register them. But the good news is that this is a continuous registration process. And had we initiated the process as far back as July, people would still not be disenfranchised. Because if they do not have the card today, they could always have it tomorrow. So what we are saying is that had we been maintaining the limited registration process, then the NIA's inability to supply the cards would have led to disenfranchising citizens. Because we have a continuous process, if you don't have the card in July, you can have the card in March and still come to the offices to register. So I think that because it is a continuous process, there's no rush. Yes, we have all the way to October 2024 to have people register, but there is no rush because it is not a limited process. I think Honorable Harry Idisu raised the issue about 10 million people using the Ghana card to prove their citizenship or to qualify to be registered. And he noted that, 13.4 million people, voted in the 2020 election. And so why is the EC, or did the EC, or is the EC classifying that the 3 million who used who may have come through the guarantor system or the passport as illegitimate? And did the EC, disqualify them and so on and so forth? But I think that at the time, I think it's important that we recognize that at the time of the registration, we had, in addition to the Ghana card, people could come through using the guarantor system and the passport. And so therefore, they were not, I think we should understand. So therefore, they were not illegal, because the law provided that they could come. The law provided. Because the law, I think we should understand. I think it's a simple argument. You have a law, and you have a law that allows you to use the Ghana card to come through the guarantor system, or to use the passport to prove your eligibility. You have that law, and therefore, if people came in using their passports, or came in through the window of the guarantor system, or used their Ghana card, those who came in using the passports or the guarantor system cannot be classified as illegal, because at the time it was the law. But under this law, under this law, under this law, we are saying that you cannot come in through the guarantor system or use a passport to prove your citizenship. Under this law, we are saying that you cannot, under this year, we are saying that you cannot come in or prove your eligibility through the guarantor system or the passport. So here, if you come in, here basically under this year, you can't come under those, conditions. But in the past, you could, and therefore you cannot be classified as being illegal. So if you have 10 million persons coming who registered using the Ghana card, and you also have, you have 3 million persons who came using the guarantor system or the passport. Under the previous law, they could not be classified as illegal. I think that yes, I think the Honorable Ayine also raised the issue about the figures, and because he has on his sheet a figure of 15,000 plus who were challenged as minors. If you look on that sheet, you will find that 32,762 people were successfully challenged during the registration process under the DRLC. And in our records, we have an additional 7,000 plus who were challenged, and these 32 were successfully challenged because they were either minors or foreigners. 32,762. They were successfully challenged during the registration and during the district registration review committee sittings. They were challenged because they were either minors or foreigners. But apart from that, we also have an additional 7,000 persons who were challenged as part of our adjudication process because we could not identify, they could not be identified for identification purposes. I think the question was also asked about the difference between the NIA guarantor system and the Electoral Commission's guarantor system. I think the NIA's guarantor system they have in place is more robust. And it is more robust, and they swear. Hello. I think the NIA system is more robust. They swear an oath.
Honorable members, please, you have asked questions. She is answering the questions. You may disagree with her, but please listen to her. Later on, we can take that on. Let's listen to her answers first. Please go on.
Yeah, I think that the NIA guarantor system is more robust because they have persons who come through swearing an oath, whilst we don't. Secondly, I think that those who serve as guarantors have their details attached to the registrant's application. Those who serve as guarantors have their details attached to a person's application, and we don't. And then thirdly, there's evidence that more people have registered for the Ghana card. More people have the Ghana card. And that's why we intend to rely on that. And then there was a question on data sharing as well. We are not, as we speak, we are not doing data sharing. There's no sharing of data between the NIA and, automatic sharing of data between the NIA and the EC. However, we have the ability to, expunge persons on our register and forward it to the NIA for verification. But we do not have an automatic, data sharing facility existing between our two organizations. However, we can expound, we can draw up a list of persons and send that to the NIA for them to verify. That facility exists, but we don't have an automatic data sharing facility with them. I think there was also a question, there was a question on the registration centers. And the CI, the draft CI that lies before us, Regulation 2.2, or let's say 2.1 and 2.2 of the CI speaks about the designation of registration centers. And it says that the Commission shall designate as a registration center the district office of the Commission and any other place that the Commission considers appropriate. As such, this once again, should the Commission deem it fit to establish registration centers in places other than the district office, the CI makes provision for that. I know the argument has been made that some of the district offices may be far, but if you look at Regulation 2.B, it says that the Commission shall designate as a registration center any other place that the Commission considers appropriate. And therefore, centers can be set up outside the district offices. And so basically that is it. It is not limited to only the district offices, but centers can be set up in any other place that the Commission deems fit. And therefore, in difficult to access district offices, the commission will take steps to designate, accessible centers as registration centers. I think there was also a question on whether the EC is going to be compiling a new register. And I think we made it clear in our statement that the EC will not be compiling a new voters register. What we are doing is to add on, to update the current register by bringing on board persons who are 18 or persons who previously did not participate in the voters register. And so we are not going to be compiling a new register. We are merely updating and adding on by making available opportunities for persons who have turned 18 or persons who had not previously registered to come on board the register should they deem fit.
Honourable members, let's now listen to the Executive Secretary, National Identification Authority. Ayaga's question will be answered by the National Identification Authority. They will answer it.
Mr. Speaker.
Your question.
Yes, I did ask a question.
Yes.
About Regulation 9. Mr. Speaker, I have read thoroughly the statement of the EC chairperson, and basically it is founded on the premise that the current CI, that is CI 91, does not allow for the kind of continuous registration that she wants to do with the new CI. Meanwhile, Regulation 9 of the old CI and Regulation 9 of the new CI coincide in their substance. Mr. Speaker, this is very important. She should be able to convince this House that if that is the premise of the change in the law, okay, the substantive content of Regulation 9 in the proposed CI should be different from the substantive content in the old one. But that is not the case, Mr. Speaker. So she should be able to answer that question right now. It's important, Mr. Speaker. Very, very important. No, it's okay.
Yes, easy, just respond to this issue.
Honorable Aine, my classmate, I think that, the emphasis with this current CI that lies before us is that we are seeking to mainstream the continuous registration exercise. In the previous CI, it was not, that was not the emphasis. But if you look at this CI, it is to seek to mainstream, make it part and parcel of our daily functions, to have continuous registration. Additionally, the CI differs from the previous CI with the documentation that one has to provide to prove one's eligibility. And we know that in the previous CI, you had to provide either the passport, the Ghana card, or to come through the guarantor system. But in this CI, the difference is that we are seeking to apply or ensure that persons who come through with only the Ghana card. But the significant difference is that this CI seeks to mainstream continuous registration and to make it a part and parcel of our daily functions. Thank you.
Yes, Executive Secretary, National Identification Authority.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I will I will address the question or comment by Honorable Dr. Dominic Aini. I do not see leads to the conclusion that 3.7 million Ghanaians would not be able to vote if, for example, they wanted to do so today. There's nothing I have said. There's nothing in the data that we provided that would lead anyone to that conclusion if I could be aided, but certainly not from the presentation I made. Second, I'd like to draw attention, speak to the issue that Honorable Mahama Ayariga raised.
And we'll take it to Parliament pretty shortly, but stay with us. We're going to be with you, helping you understand how this will be resolved. Parliamentary correspondent will join us. We'll get some reactions. Also, we're still waiting for the Speaker now, after the debate and the questions and answers are done, to give a direction as to how Parliament will proceed on this very important, critical matter of the constitutional instrument that will make the Ghana card the sole identity document for registering to vote. Stay with us.